watching NSG News, and this is The Hot Seat, Ghana's authoritative patriotic program, where we keep it live, real, critical, but constructive. You've participated in my program as an individual on The Hot Seat, but today, in real life, we have one wonderful gentleman on The Hot Seat. I don't promise, but I hope to be gentle with him. I introduce to you Honorable Samuel Adongo NDC Parliamentary candidate, New Joabeng North constituency. Honorable Samuel Adongo, you're welcome to The Hot Seat.
For sure.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So without much ado, let's go straight into it. It's just going to be a conversation because you have decided to vie for the mandate to lead your constituency, I'm believing, for development and for improvement from where they are at the moment. So my first question is, my understanding is you're a successful businessman. Why do you want to be an MP?
Thank you. And let me extend my sincere gratitude to all your listeners and viewers at this moment. The whole thing is that looking at the way African politics, and to be specific, the politics of my country, Ghana, is going. This is a time for all businessmen and the youth to get themselves involved in what is happening in the political scene. As if we always have to sit back and debate, if we always have to sit back and do only the talking, it doesn't yield anything. I've studied the political scene for some years, and I've found out that it is very important for all of us to get ourselves involved. If we want it done right, and it's not going the right way, so what do? We can't sit back and talk. We have to get ourselves involved. And as for that is one of the main reasons. Secondly, I see myself as a servant, and most are people in politics today.
That's what we always hear.
Yeah, and that
you all come and tell us you're a servant, and then when you take office, you don't know us. What's going to be different?
Thank you. I have been a servant since infancy, and those who live around where actually I was born and bred up to date, they know me very well. That I have been a servant from infancy, and that is what I've been doing till date. And even as I'm in my business, I still sometimes even get out from the office, join my sales team, go out there in the public, in the market, to do sales with them together. And as a leader, you must show this kind of.
So in effect, you're saying that you're not an armchair leader.
I'm not an armchair leader.
You are the leader that rolls your sleeve and get down and dirty.
That is it.
And get the job done.
Exactly.
We can trust you for that.
I'm telling you. So for me to get what actually I want to do, I call myself a servant. Then I need to get myself involved in anything that goes on in life. As I earlier said, concerning my business and concerning where I work, I get myself involved, not to see myself as probably at the top. So I just even have to let managers or supervisors or even those at the grounds going out there only to work. I have to get myself involved.
Thank you for that. Out of interest, you mentioned that you've always been a servant since your childhood. Now, the Hot Seat wants to know, what have you done so far? That if I walk into New Joabeng right now, New Joabeng North, people can attest to the fact that you've done something. What have you done as a sign that when you're given a mandate, you will continue in that dimension?
Yeah, thank you very much. Most, as we earlier rightly said, that politicians, most of them are all call themselves servants. But when they get the power, they get up there, they forget about the people down there who give them the nod to get up there. So I have decided not actually to stay in
my phone is ringing off the hook already. You are not in office and your phone is ringing off the hook.
Exactly.
Everybody on the hot seat, they shouldn't be bothering you at the moment.
Let me just even continue from there.
Carry on.
This signal from the phone tells us a lot. The number of people that calls me within a day, demanding for school fees, demanding for hospital bills, demanding for rent, even sometimes demanding for money just to feed themselves. It's a lot within my constituency. And if you get out there in my constituency and start asking people, to tell you about it. It is not just for the camera, but it's something that I've been doing.
I'm not doubting you, but the hot you are very critical. I will go to the township and ask them. Do you want me to do that?
Okay, you can do that. I'm giving you you can do that anywhere within the constituency. I know myself. Yes, and for an empirical evidence, something in reality, if you go out there in my constituency, for example, there's a particular town by name Akwadum. So if you go to Akwadum and you just ask of where the Akwadum clinic is, they will direct you there, you get there and ask them, who is currently renovating this clinic? And my name is mentioned. I'm currently renovating the clinic, and I'll make sure that I finish it before we get to the election time. I will not. That
I want to touch you on. I'm not cutting you short because you talked about helping renovate hospital, people asking for school fees, and things that by constitution you as an MP should not be taking your personal money to do those things. Like you're not yet, of course, you're a candidate, and but for now you do this benevolent as a benevolent gesture to the people. Ghanaians are critical of the fact that the common fund is not used properly. Because your contribution as an MP is to use cash from the common fund to support projects and also in kind to draw connection, i.e. lobby for businesses and individuals to come and give charitable donations to support projects. You're already doing this. Is that to say this is what we're going to be seeing?
We're going to see this and more. Most parliamentary, let me put it for now, if it happens, and I know for sure it won't happen that I'll be the MP for New Joabeng North constituency.
You're confident?
Yes, very confident in that. I know my constituency, and I know how I have lived with them, the relationship I've built on grounds. And one thing that also proves is a survey and some other polls that have been done so far within the constituency. And all those polls indicate that I'm on top now, I'm leading.
Sometimes polls can be deceptive.
It can be deceptive. But from what is on ground and what the polls also shows means that there is a chance. And that will not make me become so complacent that I will not actually have to continue working hard and talking to the people for them to vote for me.
So are you thinking because you're already active? Or more or less like you are a shadow minister? Because of what you say, it seems to me like you're a shadow MP. You've been active, you've been helping, you've been giving. And is that to say you're acting like a shadow MP? And is that what makes you confident you're going to get there?
Yes,
not from the people.
Because if the MP will be in the constituency and the constituency will actually feel comfortable calling me to tell them to tell me their problems instead of calling the MP, then that shows a lot. So when anyone within the constituency calls, I ask you, have you contacted the MP to inform him about this problem within the constituency? So they will just say straight, Honorable, we know the MP is there, but we decided to call you. We decided to follow you to help us. We know what we can do for us. So from your question you asked earlier, it is not only what has been indicated, that as an MP you have a common fund, and the common fund cannot actually solve all the problems within a constituency. So how are you actually going to manage that common fund to generate extra more funds to help solve most of the problems of the people within the constituency? Most of our MPs today, or more of the appointees, government appointees, I will boldly say that some of them, if not all, some of them are very lazy. And that is the truth. If you get the opportunity to lead your people, it doesn't mean that you have to totally or at all times rely on the small money that comes from government. You have authority, you have the power. You have to work it out, get the resources to build your constituency.
You're confident you can do that?
That is the truth. Even now, I'm not an MP.
Yeah.
Government is not giving me any money to do anything within my constituency. And if I'm able to come out from my own resources to do something to help my people, why can't I do more if I get opportunity to lead my constituency on that broader picture?
Are you trying to say that
when you become an appointee by the government, you have that authority, you have that power. You need to travel across the globe to get investors to your constituency. And this new Gabino constituency is a virgin constituency. We have a lot of opportunities within the constituency. We have a lot of spaces still available for businessmen to develop, to grow. So why don't we bring these businessmen? Why don't we bring the investors? Investors come to the country and we have a politician going to them, asking them to give them money before they will assist them to operate. Excuse me to say that it doesn't make sense. You have to go out there and get them to come in to invest within your constituency. And if they are even coming out personally, that they want to come and invest in the country, do we still have to ask for money from them? We would rather have to help them with every resource that we have, for them to build the factories within the constituency, for them to actually invest in that constituency.
So in fact, are you saying that you currently have connections and lobby with businesses to establish and start operating here, which then will improve the socio-economic stand or level of your constituency? Are you saying you already have those connections? Are you going to intend to use more of those connections? Because in some parts of the world, they call it lobby. So as you said, rightly said, it's not everything is government's responsibility. They have to initiate. They have to put policies in place so things can run. Exactly. So you're saying you're going to explore the kind donation aspect of your responsibility to bring business, exactly, and charitable, benevolent individuals to your constituency. You're confident of that?
Very confident.
I don't doubt it, because that is what happens in most countries, where those that have tend to give because there is a structured platform where they can take resources to. For instance, what happened after the I call it the panic spillage of VRA, when Honorable Ablakwa championed the cause of liaising with different individuals and businesses to bring support to the people. Is that the sort of thing you're thinking about?
Yeah, thank you. As you rightly mentioned, Honorable Samuel Kujato Ablakwa, he is a friend, he is a mentor. In fact, he's someone that I actually look up to. He has shown example of some of these things. There are a lot of opportunities out there, and which we have to explore such opportunities. Not only, as I earlier said, waiting for that small money that comes from government complex. Someone who could have Blackwood didn't wait for government to put up houses for his people. He relied on people because they know how capable he is. And people were ready to help. And all these people came in, and he also added his small resources that he was having available. And they are able to put up a lot of houses for the people within his constituency. And there was this explosion that happened in one town, Apiate. Yes. And government have to put in huge sums of money. Look at how type of houses that were built up there. How different is it from what Honorable Ablakwa put up in his constituency? Yes. There's no much difference. But government have to pour in a lot of money with the assistance of even the mining community. They also have to put in money. And so much money has been spent on that particular project. So if you compare that with what happened in Honorable Samuel Kuduta Blackwood constituency, you see there's a very big difference. So it is about you, the person. It's about you, the so-called, the MP or whoever calls himself the government appointee. What are you actually doing?
That's why you've got it all figured out how you're going to get.
Oh yes.
Should you be given the mandate how you're going to make or bring a thorough change to your constituency. That's what we all hope for.
Yes.
And my prayer is that you don't assume office and then the same old thing that we experience where MPs are never in their constituencies, they don't show up, they're busy in Accra, they're abroad and everywhere else except their constituency.
Great.
Can you guarantee that's not going to be a story?
Actually, it's a promise that I've given to my people.
It's a promise.
And I'm not going to fail them by His grace. I have told them that New Joabeng North is supposed to be a model constituency, in which I know for sure that even government will look at what is happening in my constituency and will actually repeat it in some other constituencies. Once I want my constituency to be a model constituency, I'm not going to be a lazy MP, not going to be a lazy appointee by government, but actually going to work hard, not actually going to stay somewhere so far away from my constituency. Even if there's an appointment by government that I need to be at the national capital, I still have to find way to make sure that what I have promised my people happens.
I'm not saying here that the truth is this, or the fact is this. There are a lot of businesses, individuals who are seeking avenues to help, to support structured projects and plans. It beats the hot seats imagination that you look at most of our constituencies, that is not happening. It seems like we only want to rely on the cash aspect, the common fund. But the connection aspect, which is your job to liaise with individuals, because every business always sets aside money to invest in the communities where they operate. That's your job, to go over there and seek it and get it into your constituency. And you're saying that's what you're going to be doing. Let me take you a little bit about and bring to your remembrance some things you've already said.
All right.
On our way here to Kofrodia, we've seen it's a green land, very nice, beautiful land. I must say, the road is fairly good, fairly good. Up until when we got into town, there were a few bumpy places, but my understanding is you're going to get that fixed.
For sure, that must be fixed.
Okay, so the next time I come here, I'll do it. If I still have to drive through those bumpy places, I'll come after you myself.
In fact, I'm even fighting, not actually fighting, but actually asking my MP, asking my municipal chief executive, and also the Ministry of Roads that they should get our roads fixed. There was, it's still there. We have even organized series of demonstration, and we are actually planning a very massive one that the roads must be fixed. It has been said severally that those roads, it has been appeared on government budget several years. Where have they placed the money? And the roads are still in that deplorable state.
You're asking the wrong guy. You have to.
They will hear me. I know for sure that they won't hear me. So we have actually asked them already.
You've asked them. When you get some information, please share with us. We want to know too. As you know,
we'll continue pushing it.
As you know, the hot seat is Ghana's authoritative patriotic program. We are country and people centered. We don't waver. We don't play. So I come to, can see it's very green. And you talked about the fact that you promised to use agriculture to transform New Joabeng North with the use of Eamn for large-scale farming to help the senior high school and other institutions. Do you think the Eamn will be sufficient to achieve this large-scale farming?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's take it from this, and even as we speak, if the Kofrodia prisons, which happens to be in my constituency, is having an estimated total of 600 inmates, and 600 inmates, and if we are to have, if not at all, about 500 of them being active, and I've been there on several occasions. Most of them energetic, young guys, well-built guys who can actually, put to good use. But we end up wasting very resourceful human beings at the prisons. When we have a lot of lands out there, why don't we acquire sophisticated, modernized agricultural inputs like tractors? We get all other machinery that are needed so that we can put those our farmlands into good use. get these prisoners, train them, put them in the farms, help so that they can help us, so that we can cultivate crops. We can plant a lot of maize and cassava. And as we speak today, cassava, we can use it to produce so many other things like the cassava chips and the starch and all that. And Ghana, as we speak, we can't even get enough starch that we need for this country, that we can produce, use to produce some of our items that we need starch for. We have to even sometimes import some when we have enough cassava here that we can produce starch on large quantity.
Talk about importing cassava.
Not importing cassava, but starch. And the starch,
we have arable land. We have arable land, and we should be able to grow enough.
We should be able to grow enough cassava to produce.
Of course, you were not in office, but you're wanting to go to office, and I pray and hope I have nothing against you. I'm just here for country and people.
Yeah.
Anybody that seeks to do good for the country, I support you. Doesn't matter what label, NDC, MPP, the force. I mean, that's important. All I want is my country to look good.
Exactly.
We can be good.
The major problem that we have in Ghana, and to be specific in my constituency, is job. There is no job. And most of the youth end up getting themselves involved in so many things that at the end get them like wasted. So for that reason, once we have enough lands that we can start growing cassava, why don't we put all those lands together and grow enough cassava so that we can provide job opportunities for people that actually need jobs?
I want to ask you, that's not something I plan to ask, but talking about farming arable land, just at the beginning of the Ukraine-Russia war, the current government was crying foul. That war is affecting, and there's going to be food shortage. The whole seat, I feel, it's actually an insult to our integrity and the blessings of the Lord that we have to have so much arable land, yet importing cereals and grains from a country that is almost snow-stricken to feed us. And when they started war, before even the second week, we were already shouting. What's your view on that?
This is something that need not happen at all in Ghana, because we have a lot of very fertile lands that we can grow all this cereal, that we can grow all the cereal that we need. Why can't we just put those lands into good use? Why do we have to wait for a country far away from home plant cereal? Then we will have to import those cereal into our country so that we can feed ourselves. So that in the extent that they are in crisis, then it will affect us. What are we using those lands for? So that is why I put it that most of our appointees actually don't put what the available resources that they have into good use. For example, Ghana, as we have a lot of these very fertile farmland, we still have to import something like onions from Niger. Do we still have to import something like common tomatoes from Burkina Faso? That is the extent that when Burkina Faso had a coup d'etat, then we were short of tomatoes. When Niger had a coup d'etat, then we were short of onions. We can't plant just these simple ones within our own country. When we have a whole policy planting for food and jobs,
I tend to agree with you.
So much money,
and it's painful,
and it's not yielding anything positive.
Right. You've already got it all figured out and planned. So you said, and I hold you to your words, you want New Joabeng North to be the model constituency for the rest to learn from.
Exactly.
I pray that's the case, because from the perspective of the hot seat and the understanding of the hot seat, we are not limited by human resource, we are not limited by academic resource, we are not limited by natural resources, and therefore Ghana should be self-sufficient and function, with or without any support from anywhere. But as it is now, we are a dependent nation holding bills and begging for arms from country to country, which is quite an insult to our integrity as intelligent, smart people. Because on the hot seat, I hold it high. We are smart, we are strong, we are tough. When we want to do, we do.
Yes.
One final question for you, and we will be back. You talked about changing the voting pattern in your constituency, and then you talked about the fact that at the moment it seems like the constituency is relatively the property of the ruling party, NPP, and therefore you want to change that. But I want to say to you, the vote reflects the desire of the people. So if the people are voting NPP into office, that means the law of NPP. But I knew a few minutes ago you were so confident you're going to take the vote. But how are you going to do this and change the voting pattern?
Thank you. As I made mention in my earlier presentation that I have built that cordial relationship between my constituents, and I have actually also undertaken so many projects within the constituency, which the people look at it and they actually have that confidence and that hope in me as a parliamentary candidate for the constituency. And they know for sure that when they give me the opportunity, I can lead them and actually bring a change within the constituency.
In effect, you're saying you are the change.
Yes.
So we should call it the change.
And bringing the change.
So we should call it the change.
It's coming and the change is here.
So do I give you a new name?
Yes.
Honorable Samuel Adongo, the change.
The change. Yes. I used to say change is coming, but now I say change is here.
So I am the change.
I am the change. And the change is here. And I'm ready for them and I'm ready to serve them. I'm not an MP, but as we speak, I'm providing water for some selected secondary schools within my constituency and helping to fix some deplorable roads within my constituency, providing books to schools. As I'm speaking now, I have brought enough hospital equipment, wheelchairs, and a whole lot of other set of equipment. They are there now. I'm just ready, trying to get a grounds ready. Then I can send them around to hospitals that need those hospital equipment. You don't have to wait. That vote for me. When I become an MP, I'll do this for you. In my own small way, I have to show that example that when you give me the opportunity, I can lead and lead them well. If you want to lead people, you must first have in mind that you are going to serve your people, but not the people to serve you. And that's the wrong perception that we have in Africa and in Ghana. That when someone going into for a political position, it is not about the people that they are going to serve. It is about them amassing wealth for themselves, filling their pocket, putting up all those kind of machines and a whole lot of unnecessary vehicles moving around, leaving the people in a very terrible state. In my constituency, as we speak today, we still have a school there. This is a regional capital. And we still have a basic school within the constituency, still running shifts, morning and afternoon, within the constituency. And I asked, why? And we still have some villages that they still don't even have schools. They have to walk for a distance. And as I'm speaking to you, I've acquired about 3 acre land within that particular area to put up a school for the people within that area. Because what I've realized that those who have to go to school, when especially the young ones, from 1 year up to 5 to 6 years, they are not able to attend school. They have to stay at home until they are able to walk for that distance from that village to town to attend school.
So I think all this arrangement is with your connections in mind, your lobby strategies in mind to get these things done, because you don't want your family to go hungry.
No, at all.
Honorable, we have 275 constituencies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm speculating here. For once, the proportion is almost balanced. 138 MPP, 137 NDC, 1 independent candidate. But Ghanaians are not satisfied with the work of NDC in Parliament, that these are the time that they are strongest and should stand to defend the people or to opt more to get policies in favor of country and people, but they think that didn't work. What do you think is the problem? Especially during the e-levy.
All right. Thank you. You know, government in power will always find every opportunity or find any way out to push through whatever that they think is good for the government. It doesn't matter whether it's good for the people or not. And you definitely, in one way or the other, you will still get certain people within your own people that sometimes may disappoint you at the time you need them the most. That is why there is a need to get that wide difference in, for NDC. That is why this time around, all of us are coming in. We must all get to there. That means the Parliament House. So some of us, once the turn will not favor the country, it will not favor the citizenry.
Because the thing is this, the hot seat still thinks that the e-levy, even though the percentage was reduced eventually, is still interesting, because if you and I take 100 Ghana cedi now, you transfer it to me, I transfer it to another person, by the time the money circulates, it finishes without you doing anything. Yes. And that begs a question, and I mean, the hot seat is still critical with the e-levy. Do you think that NDC have something in plan?
We'll scrap it.
They will scrap it.
Promise that we'll give it to us.
How are you going to generate revenue if you do that?
The e-levy is not yielding anything profitable. Oh, what has the e-levy money been used?
Tell me more.
Nothing so far. There is nothing that this government in power today can boldly tell Ghanaians that they have actually used that e-levy for. It has not yielded anything positive. So it is not necessary even in the first place.
So you're challenging the sitting government that the e-levy has yielded nothing.
Nothing.
And you're ready to sit with them in debate.
Exactly.
Over this e-levy.
And if I alone, I will stand before the whole government.
What if they come with evidence that this is what we've done?
They have nothing to prove. If they have it, they should prove it. And I'm ready to face them anyway.
Over to you.
For a debate.
I mean, I'll be more than happy to moderate.
I'm telling you, anyway. There's no need for anyone to come in. I will stand alone, but they should bring the whole government machinery.
I offer myself as the moderator of that debate.
I'll be very glad.
Now, quickly, while we are on the number of MPs.
Yeah, before we go back to the number of MPs, you made mention earlier that if you look at the voting pattern within the Joabeng North constituency, it indicates that the people within the constituency actually prefer the ruling government NPP.
Yes.
That is not the case.
Okay, tell me more.
It is the perception of the people. And that perception of the people has created that avenue for the government to sometimes even some government officials come out boldly on media or even in public place to make a statement that is very insulting to the people. That even if they present a goat and put on that political colours of the ruling government, the people within the constituency that leave Joabeng North will still vote for them. That is a serious insult on the people. But the perception of the people is that for the past years, whenever there is an election, if you look at the margin between MPP and NDC, even if you go and vote for NDC, the NDC parliamentary candidate may not win. And also, they are actually waiting for someone that they think will be kind of a messiah that will take them out of the bondage they are living in today. And as I speak to you, we have that person. And as I speak to you, the perception of the people has changed drastically.
I'm not trying to throw you off your trajectory in presenting this information. I have one more question for you on the numbers, and this is on ministers. But before then, there's always this, it's a common knowledge among Ghanaians that MPs buy vote. Yes or no? Are you intending to buy vote?
I will not buy vote.
Thank you very much.
I'm not ready to buy vote. And I've told my people that I'm not buying vote, but I'm ready to serve them.
But my understanding is if you don't buy vote, they're not going to vote for you.
It depends on how you let the people understand you. And what I want voters to understand that anyone that comes to you and make that statement, take money and vote for me, that person is going to treat you like an animal. You will buy your vote, and after that, you have no contact with him again. You have sold your rights to the particular politician, and that person will now have to pay back the money he has given to you. So whatever resources that they have to bring to the constituency to build the constituency and make it the model constituency that I want it to be, they will use all that money for their own personal benefit, and they will use it to pay the loans that I have taken from the banks and all wherever to give as as a result to buy your vote from you.
Direct question.
Do not sell your vote.
Direct question for you. Okay, that's from the Honorable Samuel Adongo, the NDC candidate for New Joabeng North. Don't buy votes. Don't pay for individuals to come to office, because you do that, they'll treat you in a questionable way, and you don't want that. Look for who can lead you and change your constituency. That's to us all Ghanaians. My question: do you think the number of ministers we have at the moment is justified?
Thank you. I think, in fact, sometimes I find it difficult to understand certain politicians. This is total waste, and that is it. Nothing more, nothing less. Is total waste of that small resources that the country is having.
But there's a lot of cost that comes with ministers, you know.
The cost of keeping just one minister is not easy. Aside the salary that the person will be paid, there are a whole lot of allowances. You have to provide security for that minister, and you have to provide people that will take care of that minister. You have to provide accommodation for that minister. And it's not only the number of ministers that have been appointed, even the deputy ministerial positions. Why should one minister having about 3 deputy ministers? Doing what job at all?
Helping build Ghana.
Helping build Ghana. Ghana should have been like America today. If that number of ministers will help build Ghana. It's a total waste. And we don't even need that number of ministers. Even half of it will be too much for Ghana. We have greater, look at a country like the United States of America. They don't even have ministers up to that total number of ministers that we have. Generally the same thing. The number of ministers they have is not up to what we have in Ghana here. But look at what is happening there. Even in UK, in Europe, most countries there don't have this number of ministers that we have today. And we go and we appoint that number of ministers, and they're even not doing anything good. Corruption, total waste of government resources. How many of these ministers so far have been able to achieve anything good for the country? Nothing. Look at even the one key ministry, for example, like the Ministry of Finance. Total wastage. This ministry has caused so much wastage. They have caused so like losses to the country. And as of now, the former minister Kenofurata should be behind bars. Why they are not to be given another appointment?
He was working in the interest of the country.
Foreign minister diaspora. For what? To go and steal more?
I'm interested in a foreign minister
diaspora. Yes, that is what that appointment.
What is the function of that office, the ministerial position?
To go and lobby outside.
Okay.
Connection that will bring. And that connection is not bringing investors to the country to do everything. It is just going to borrow.
You think he's not going to do it?
It's not going to benefit us in any way.
How do you know? Let's invest.
And they're borrowing money. If you go out there not to bring investors that will bring money into the country, but are going to borrow money, it's total wastage.
I believe that office has just been created, right?
And his office was just created just to borrow money and to put burden on Ghanaians.
But you said you were going to be using connection, i.e. lobby institutions, individuals to come invest in your constituency
not and come money in the name of.
So why do you think he's not going to be lobbying for businesses to bring their business to Ghana?
We know him for the past 7 years.
Of course,
I'm aware of part of all his lobbying that he has been doing outside is lobbying for money.
I'm aware of the fact that since the new government, debt ceiling has moved from 160 something to over, I think it's about over 600 now, right? Okay, but this is a new office that is set to go lobby for.
Let me ask you, that money hasn't yielded any positive for Ghana? We want to build Ghana. Building Ghana.
You may or may not be following the hot seat, but the hot seat disposition is clear. We are critical, constructively critical of governmental movement. And yes, if you go and listen to some of the conversation, you will see we talked about the IMF deal. The consequences of it is there. Have a listen. If you want us back, call me. I'll be here.
So that is why I'm asking. But I want have the doubt anything positive from all the loans we've taken so far.
Honorable, I want to say for the benefit of the doubt, let's hope that he brings in business. Okay. Let's hope that I need the name again, Minister Diaspora. Is it Minister Diaspora or Sankofa? I don't know. Your friend is like, is it Minister Diaspora now?
And that is how I term the Minister Diaspora.
Okay,
actually, his office is to liaise between the finance minister and the country and other countries.
So more or less, is an oversight to the finance minister.
Standing in to lobby. If there is any external transaction, he is supposed to do that.
So
he travels outside.
I'm sorry to ask you, but what is the job of the finance minister then?
That is why I'm saying total wastage.
Okay, so let's focus on you for a minute. A quick one.
But let's find out. If we have Ministry of Agri, is there a need to have Ministry of Fisheries? If we have Ministry of Roads, is there a need to have Ministry of Railways?
They are transportation.
Transportation. And we have Ministry for Transportation, Ministry of Transport. Why Ministry of Transport? If Ministry of Transport is there, we can put all those other ministries
maybe for effective functioning.
And that
delegation of power.
Yes, and that has not yielded anything positive for the country. It means it's just a total waste of the resources that we have.
Honorable, I pray you get what you want, and I'll come back and hold you to.
Thank you.
In 100 days. So tell me, in the first 100 days, if or when given the mandate, what will be your flagship program that we will remember you for?
The first 100 days, we have to, as we speak, I'm saying communication with some friends that I know them outside, those who want to put up pharmaceutical in the companies in Ghana, those who want to go into commercial agri, those who want to go into starch production, those who want to go into the co-processing. As we speak, I have someone within my constituency who is processing cocoa, and we started assisting him. We want to expand it and make it a factory, big factory. The land is ready, and the starch factory to the land is ready. I started communicating with farmers within some villages like Kesu number 1 and 2 to make available at least enough lands that we will need for the process.
So am I right to summarize that in your first 100 days, you're going to have some new businesses starting here? Is that what you're trying to say?
We just have to start that. Because I've started communicating. So the first 100 days, we should see something on grounds, not on paper, not near saying, not on recordings, something on grounds. Tell me, also, the first 100 days, I want my constituency to be a model constituency within the country. So we have to also monitor issue of sanitation. The constituency have to start changing drastically. Everywhere within the constituency, there shouldn't be choked gutters. There shouldn't be stagnant waters somewhere that will create or generate mosquitoes that at the end will bring out malaria. And we'll have to start making sure that containers for company like Zoom Lines will not get full, and they will not come and pick it out away from the place. They will leave it there. From the 100 first,
you just mentioned something that the hot seat is critical with. You mentioned Zoom Lion.
Yes.
And the hot seat is vibrating.
Yeah.
Do you think that is effective? You talked about Zoom Lion beans being left. I've seen places that the bean is left for 3 months. Nothing. They've not picked it. So do you think that Zoom Lion is really functioning? This is a question out of the blue because you just mentioned it. So I want to know. I mean, you're connected. You are active in this place and with other people. So what is your view? Because I think that, personally, I'm sorry, but the Hossie thinks that the Zoom Lion thing is a waste. Even this morning when we're driving to this place, you see them with these beautiful brooms.
Yes.
Sweeping Accra.
Sweeping. Yes.
The regional capital of Ghana.
Yes. It's terrible.
I don't want to hold you to it. So
on corruption. That is the whole thing. If you give a contract to someone,
you say it
and you end up taking even up to 50 to, if not at all, about 30% from the person that you've offered a contract, what do you expect the person to use to execute that job given? It's terrible. And that is what is happening in Ghana and it's happening in most African countries. And that is why Africa still remains where we are today. The corruption is just too much.
But for what you're saying, your constitution will be different.
It must be different. If you can't do it, we will fight you.
Are you sure?
Even allow you to in the constitution.
Yes, you're not a voting member of the council, but you are an oversight. Are you sure you're going to hold the project manager or project director accountable?
Accountable.
The MC accountable?
MC accountable. Anyone that have the
I will hold you to your
within the constituency.
All
stakeholders within the constituency must get up and work. And that thing must stop. I tell you, for instance, in my constituency, I realized that rail lines were being removed.
Actually, before you continue, let me throw this question because your answering is going in that direction, right?
Yeah.
What is one thing that you would do different to the current if you should become the president?
I will be in future.
Amen. I accept it. If you become the MP for New Joabeng North, what one thing will you do differently? Should I assume it's going to be you holding the stakeholders accountable? Would that be the only thing you would do differently? I mean, one obvious thing that you do different to the incumbent MP.
The whole thing is a matter of showing, like, concern. It's a matter of you being ready to serve your people. If we have leaders that have within their heart that they are ready to serve their people, that is the solution to all the problems that we have. So, if you are ready to serve your people, you will not see your people, you will not see your people going through all those difficulties that you have the opportunity of solving them. There are some of them that it doesn't actually need much to solve. Sometimes the lobbying must work. If you can lobby, if you have to sit idle and just watch for things to go bad, you are not a leader. You are not serving your people. You must serve your people. Whatever that goes on within the constituency that you think is not working, you must get it work. You must fix it. It is your responsibility. If not, then don't go in that you want to serve. Don't go in that you want to be an MP. And this goes to all other people.
I'll please you again. I want you to give me, I want to be critical with you right now. I want you to give me one thing that you do. Yes, you've explained how it should be, which I agree with totally, but I want you just a statement of a thing that the incumbent MP doesn't do that you would do. I tried to summarize the fact that you have rightly said you would hold accountable, you will be effective in your oversight as far as the council's activities is concerned, projects. And so, what is that thing, one thing that you do differently to the incumbent MP?
Making jobs available.
Beautiful, thank you very much. He said you make jobs available. And I'm sure the youth will be jumping.
I'm telling you.
You want them to dance?
And they should start dancing because they know what I can do.
All right.
And most of the youth within the constituency, they know how I've lived with them for the past years and what I can do. If about businesses, providing jobs for the people, they know. So we will not disappoint the people. We will get them what we promised them. I'll get them what
I will not leave Kofodia without asking you this question. Galamsey, I'm not sure how much it's affecting you, but Galamsey illegal mining and then coupled with small scale mining, something the whole seat. We did a program where we said the small scale mining scheme is not working. It is destroying our country. The lands are going, the waters are messed up completely. The evidence is there. And so I cannot not ask you questions. But the issue is, from the hot seat, being for country and people, this serious issue affecting the land, affecting cocoa production, I'm going to give you statistics in a minute. Yet it is being made a partisan politics at the expense of the evidence before our eyes that there's destruction going on. Right? My question is this, before the question, between 2021 and 2022, Ghana's cocoa production has reduced by 31%. All thank glory to Galamsey and small-scale mining, which has destroyed over 19,000 to 20,000 hectares of cocoa farm. Cocoa that one man brought and put us on the map, which of course we don't have anything to show for it anyway, I have a question for you. What do you think will be done to make this not a partisan issue? Because the distraction is real.
Thank you. This whole thing, this Galamsey issue has been in existence for years. Most of our politicians have been fighting it, but as it used to, now as we speak today, is very terrible. In a miserable state, now it has become even very difficult. That the government, who promised the citizenry, who promised the voters that he will put his government online in the fight of Galamsey, that has not been achieved. Now, the government...
Why is that? Is it corruption? Is it an inside job? Because there's a video that was circulating of the task force that were to get to the hinterlands and close down those operations. They got there. Actually, it was a documentary by a foreign person on this Galamsey issue. And they got there, they locate the place, they wanted to shut it down. There was a soldier man that was there, his uniform, so we believe he's a soldier. He made a call to somebody somewhere. Suddenly there was this diffy looking guys that came outside, all uniform, in green uniform. Some people say they are called the Delta Force, and came to shut down the task force from shutting down the operation. Once you can see the distraction is obvious to them. I don't understand that move. So it seems like it's an inside job. It's something from the high up. Yes. I can't pin it to it, but this is a common knowledge in Ghana.
That is the truth. The whole thing is that politicians just have to get themselves out of this Galamsey job. A lot of politicians are in there. We even have municipal chief executives who are even involved in the mining. We have ministers who have their companies doing this Galamsey mining. Oh, the whole thing is that there are so many processes involved in mining, and that you can choose most good, how do you call it, the most recommended process that will not affect our water bodies.
And have you seen the area view of these waters?
I've seen them. It's one of them. And Cobra, River Bay happens to be an Odan. And Odan is my town. I've been going there. Those days I used to drink from River Bay. But today, it's like mud. You can't use it for anything. The whole thing is, as I earlier mentioned, politicians just have to get themselves out of this Galamsey thing. Politicians are there, and now
so you are alleging politicians are there.
Not even alleging. Politicians are there. But if it happens that we have to mention their names, we'll bring their names out. We know them. By the time we do, some of them have to go behind bars. The ministers that are in there, hiring people for them to do the mining, for them to destroy our water bodies, for them to make all those millions of dollars for themselves.
They staged burning some of the graders. They were trying to stop it.
It was just for show? For show. Just for show.
You say to me that was for show?
They don't do that just for show, just for people to see that, this is what is going on. It doesn't matter.
And tell me that the burning of the graders was for show.
It's not just for show. I'm telling you the fact. It's just for show.
Okay, that gives me concern.
Does it make sense?
You said
if you think that someone is using those excavators for mining and think it is wrong, why don't you seize them, give them out to the various constituents for them to use to construct roads and to build up their roads?
You just spoke one rather burning them. You just spoke the amount of
about 500 excavators were seized, and what we had that the excavators got missing. How possible?
They got back to work. In effect, have they gone back to work?
Most of these excavators found their way back to the field again. And some of them, the politicians, shared it among themselves. Are we building a country or we are...
Today we will not mention them.
Today we will not mention them, but I have the names. The next time we come up, we'll mention the names.
You just
and I'll if we have people who have promised that they are coming to serve their people, and they end up hiring people to beat people in their farms, even sometimes killing people in their farms, then they want to get the land to mine, then they want to get the land to waste cocoa farms, just to get a space to waste our water bodies,
the evidence,
polluting water bodies, polluting the whole environment with chemicals.
cyanide,
sometimes making even what call it this aquaculture, most of them the fail and all those things end up dying.
They are gone.
Most of them,
of course, survive in those waters. Look at the water.
Yes.
It's
Everything just
I call it the Milky Way of the galaxy. That's what the hot seat calls it.
Everything is going.
You on the matter of the subject of galaxy.
We know very well. Sorry, when we know very well that there are a lot of other sophisticated ways of doing mining that will rather protect our other water bodies, protect our farms, so that we don't have to waste the cocoa farms. If today we have Ghana, we fall short of about 31%.
Yes, 31%.
That is a big lose. That is a big something. Now, okay, now
can I just add something? Can I just add something to the 31%? Not only that, it is said that there is a change. The Europeans are trying to change the policy to the type of cocoa they receive, and if that happens, that means it's possible Ghana's cocoa will not be because of the destruction and the pollution and the chemicals. They mean we'll have issues. But before I go to the next point that I'm going to, how prevalent is galamsey issues in your community? Because you talked about farming as one of the things that you would use to improve the constituency. And galamsey and farming, they don't go hand in hand.
Yeah.
How serious is that here? Because it could be counterproductive to your plans.
Yeah. I'm fortunate not to have any form of galamsey activity in my constituency. But what we would like to promise all those people is that they should dare not try come to New Joabeng North constituency.
What do you need to do?
The very first day we see the first person mining, digging,
you arrest him.
Not only arresting, but we let the person understand that when he is able to survive that day, he will dare not even think of mining in New Joabeng North constituency. It shouldn't happen.
So the community will not allow him.
The community will not allow, and we will not even allow at all. It will not even
we all acknowledge it is destructive to farming, it's destructive to cocoa. Actually, cocoa brought by Tete Kwashi, one man, has helped Ghana. Of course, we are yet to feel and to experience the benefit of this cocoa that we've been exporting for the past many years. Because do you agree with me that cocoa alone is more than enough to change the economic outlook of Ghana? Because cocoa is consumed anywhere in the world as food, as products we put on our bodies. So why is it that Ghana couldn't become a formidable nation economic-wise by just cocoa?
That is why I'm saying that corruption is killing Africa. And that is the whole thing. Corruption is killing Africa. And secondly, we don't have people who have heart of serving. We have politicians who are just coming into power just to make money, just to make wealth, not to serve the people, not to sit down to think of anything that will help grow their various countries. So at the end, what we see is total poverty. What we see is we creating damage to our own resources that we have. Today, if the gold and the diamond that we have there, if we are not able to mine them in a way that will even bring us more money, that foreign exchange, but we do some kind of mining that is rather destroying the natural resource that we have available, then we are in crisis. Then we are having a big problem. We need leaders.
I think we're already in crisis.
Have good conscience.
We're already in crisis.
Yeah, we are. And it's getting.
But we are blessed with yet another discovery, bauxite, in the OT area.
So what we are praying for is that we'll get people who will bring in good equipment that will do proper form of mining. You know, not to waste our natural resources, not to cause damages to our forestry, not to destroy our cocoa farms. So the government said they are doing what we call it, this cocoa planting, whatever. What is the use of that? We are wasting money, nursing cocoa, giving it out to farmers that is go and plant on which land?
Land.
You have already destroyed your cocoa farm that are already there. The cocoa seedling that you gave to the farmer that is go and plant on their farm, they planted them. The cocoa started growing, and you let people destroy all those cocoa again. What are you doing? You are wasting money to generate cocoa seedlings, and the cocoa seedlings end up on farms, and Galamsey end up destroying those cocoa farms again.
Honorable, I'm enjoying the conversation with you. We can keep on like this, and I love your passion. I can see fire in your eyes, and I'm tending to believe that you do all that you're saying. But I'm still skeptical because we've heard this before and again. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, and then we don't see anything. Actually, some people come to our constituencies and it's worse than they met it. But I don't want to. I want to take the subject away from you a little bit as we're about to wrap up
about that. When we have people who have a heart of saving, they don't go out there promising that vote for me when I get power. I will come and do that. You show by example. What are you doing now? What have you done before? What is your way of thinking? How do the people know you on grounds? Do they see you as someone who is selfish and greedy and thinking about your personal interest alone?
The hot seat, we don't doubt you, but we love to see some of, I'm sure there should be some photographs somewhere, or video somewhere of what you've done. We love to see.
I'm telling you.
I mean, just to attest to people, you look energized, fierce in your conversation with me. And so, something to tell them, truly, he's not just an empty barrel, a resounding gong, but actually, he has evidence for his conversation. That would be good. But
I have a lot of some of projects that I've worked on, and some that are still ongoing, and some that I'm about to start. So I can send all those pictures to you. You can put it out there for your viewers to see it for themselves.
Now, let's go to national. Let's leave your constituency. NPP and Baobia. Technology and digitalization.
Please, I beg you, there's something very critical in my constituency, and I would like to talk about it. There's this issue of flooding.
Oh, flooding. Okay. Before we go national, you're bringing me back to the constituency. I'll give you that concession.
Yes. There is a particular stream by name Kome, and it has its source all the way from the mountains. There's a place called this man called Obwotebri. There are all those waters coming from the top there through the Zungu area. It comes down through the Asokori Zungu, then to a place called Abuan Kwanta. It finds its way there out to some other places. Then the major problem is that there is a road, and that road, the cover that they have put under that road is too small for the what do you call it? The water to the underwater. Yeah. And we have asked that government should come in. They need to make that place like a kind of a bridge. They have to lift it up so that when the water is coming, it can have a place to pass.
So that is saying that
heavy.
The water capacity, the amount of water coming outweighs the capacity of the bridge.
Yes, it's not overflows. There's a small cover down under the road, so it can absorb all the water. So when it is raining heavily, the water
those are some of the things that connection, lobbying can help, because there are some institutions that can give money to get that done. So I think we've got a lot to do.
This is a regional capital. It's still not that capital. But there's a problem that is occurring, that is affecting the people, and we know a solution to the problem. So what are we waiting for?
The hot seat, we want the lobbying aspect of the MP's job to be effective and functional, because it will help a great deal.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, everything being slapped in the lap of government with woefully inadequate money in the fund means that bridge may never get done, because there may be some other pressing issues, and then we talked about corruption where there will be some losses while that money moves. All right. So it is the hope of the hot seat that MPs will begin to engage in using these very subtle but effective responsibility to oversee and to lobby for individuals and businesses to help their community grow.
Yes.
It's very important.
Very important. We have compromise on so many things and this end up affecting the people that vote for the politicians to come to power. And sometimes, for me, not probably maybe to maybe incite voters against politicians, but I think that sometimes the voters need to demand. They have to get up, stand, and ask the politician, "What are you doing?"
But that's what it's supposed to be, because they say democracy is the government of the people, for the people, by the people. So that's the need. See, that is the populace. That's their job, to hold their leaders accountable. But that we don't do. We have all failed in that capacity. We are caught up in these partisan arguments. You are NDC, you are NPP. Now we have the force.
And the time we put those things down and start asking for development, and start asking.
I think we enjoy driving in the potholes.
Start asking them.
Maybe we enjoy driving in the potholes.
Our regional capital, just close to the municipal assembly. Before and after the municipal assembly, that's when you see those serious potholes. And this, some years back, wasn't like that. Why today? Instead of us to progress as a people, instead of us to progress as a country, we are rather retrogressing, going backwards.
I can't agree with you, because I've been to some parts of our country, and even some of the places I grew up, and it's like, what in the world is this? What has gone on here? You're watching NSG News, and this is The Hot Seat, Ghana's authoritative patriotic program. I'm your host, Liquid Eamn. I'm still with Honorable Samuel Adongo, new Joabeng North constituency NDC parliamentary candidate. And we'll be having a good conversation. You interjected because you wanted to say something very important, which you did. But I wanted to take you to some of the national matters that we have. NPP Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia, the flag bearer for the ruling party, his initiatives and campaign for tech and digitization. But the hot seat we have, yes, of course, digitization is possible, but we think infrastructurally there's a deficit. And actually, as a country, we have an infrastructure deficit across board, from health to telecommunications. Most recently, when it is alleged that some Mami Wata chop cable, eat cable, internet was just all over the place. Because his initiatives are very important, they are doable, but without infrastructure capacity, it's just like building castle in the air. Because those things require capacity to function effectively and efficiently. What is your take? Do you think, we are saying we don't have to do it, what should we be focusing? What will you advise Dr. Bawumia and his digitization team to focus on? Just by, because at the moment they put the systems in place. I can tell you, I went to carry out or do my, the national card. And the devices were just going offline anyhow. There's no air conditioning there. Of course, I'm privileged to have a bit of knowledge when it comes to electrical stuff. Those things need to be operating in a very a normal temperature, but it was hot in those places. And I'm wondering, what is it that we're trying to achieve? But anyway, my longest short question is this. What would be your advice to Dr. Bawumia and his team, knowing very well that we have infrastructure deficit as far as telecommunication is concerned?
Thank you. Actually, we've wasted so much money. Mentioned digitization in every economy and in every serious country. If you want to build up any form of so let me be precise. Let me say digital. If you want to go to digitization, you have to start providing infrastructure for it.
Exactly.
And it's for this main reason that the previous government That's the National Democratic Government. When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was in power, he put up the Accra Digital Center. He knows that there is a time that we have to start going into digitization. So he put up the Accra Digital Center. Now, as this government came in, I expect that all regions must build up a new modern form of digital center in all the regions.
Yep.
And it should start from there. Then as time goes on, we start decentralizing it. It should go to the district, various districts. Then we can now start as a serious country, we can now go into full-time digitization. We don't have the infrastructures. We don't have even the internet access. We have to rely on some other people to provide us internet services and all that. As of now, as a country, if you really want to make it up, as we should start thinking of going into the space to establish like some kind of a satellite that we will have our own form of how do you call it, internet access, or go into the advanced form if we can even launch a satellite out there.
Of course, the technology is there, the systems are there. It's more of we partnering with the right institutions that render the services and build a system of our own. There was a time I had true or false that we've sent something to space. What was it that we sent to space?
It is not anything that will actually, what do you call it, help with the current situation that we are handling now.
Yeah.
We have to actually go into it seriously as a country that we really want to get up there. We need to do something that will help all of us. So it is far too late, but we can start something. So the most important thing, as I said earlier, we have to build the infrastructure. We have to start developing some new technologies.
The fact is, you will not travel far from Accra before you begin to have connection issues. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, yes. And some of the initiatives of children having laptops in schools. And what's your take on that?
Sorry, but we are not serious as a country. I'm telling you,
honorable, let me interject.
We don't have proper internet.
The annoyance of the whole
Secondly, the whole thing is that as we speak, there are even some schools that they have never even seen a common computer before. They have never. There are still villages that have classrooms.
Some don't have classrooms.
They don't even have the classrooms. Some of them sit under this, how do you call it?
Pavilion.
It's serious. It's very bad. So if there are no classrooms there, and thinking of providing laptops to schools, that is not bad.
They want to upload textbooks onto the laptop for the children.
Sometimes I like to.
So can I just summarize to say, the long and short, your advice to Dr. Bawumia and his team, of course, now he's busy with campaign and stuff like that. So the long and short is that he should focus on building capacity, infrastructural capacity for these systems to be fully functional and efficient. Perfect. Am I right to think that?
Perfect. That's what we need to do now. If we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the classrooms there for the students to even sit in there. Even if they get the laptops, there are some villages that don't even have lights. Where are they going to charge those laptops?
That will do so on my mind. Do so on my mind.
Yes. And even now that we even have crisis with this electricity issues.
Yeah.
We don't have stable.
Should we be having issues with electricity? Erratic electric power supply. Should we?
We don't need it. Now, how do you call it? It's not supposed to be there. That is why look, there was no even power fluctuation again. It happened that the previous government was able to solve that.
Do you think your government, your party, when given the chance to do something different? Because it seems like doing so has also become a partisan politics. Blame this. You see, the Hosi calls it the politics of blame game rather than performance. Oh, the previous didn't do this, therefore leave us alone. The energy minister was actually making some very interesting statement the other day. I don't want to repeat it. about this doom saw that they've done better. But electricity is the backbone for industrialization. Electricity is the backbone for industrialization. Yeah. We want to industrialize. And yet somebody starts business today, tomorrow light is not there, he doesn't know when it's going to come back. It's why I'm asking you. Of course, I wasn't going to talk about doom saw, but you mentioned if you are taught to raise it.
You don't have stable power, and it's a very major concern. And as a country, we don't have to even be talking about electricity issues. We don't have to be talking about power supply as at the time. There should be enough power supply. And we have everything as a country that can help us generate enough power for the country that we can even sell some out to other neighbor countries that don't have the opportunity of generating power. So why are we still in this kind of menace? Why are we still putting ourselves in this kind of situation that we have to now be thinking of probably even cutting off power supply to some other countries, nearby countries that we are giving them power today? Why? There was,
when it comes to capacity, infrastructure capacity, the hot seat's disposition is we as a country, we have infrastructural deficit across board, all sectors.
Yes.
And that it's an unwavering disposition we have taken. Having observed and experienced everything that this shortage or this deficit can cause.
So as a serious country, the most important thing that we need to do is to focus on infrastructure. And that is why the previous government was not just focusing on infrastructure, building junior high schools, building chip compound, building clinics, building polyclinics, building medical hospitals, or let me say regional hospitals.
But the president just launched, what is even the word, at Kolebu a couple of, I think last week or so, he launched a cut tape for another capacity that was built. So I think they're doing something, don't you think so?
At this particular moment, the previous government
just outdoor something new.
The previous government, as around this time, was just outdooring projects that have been finished. They were just
commissioning. Are you saying that Mahama's 4 years and Nana Ado's 8 years, you can equip them as
you can't even match them?
Come on.
That is the fact.
Come on, honorable.
For the past 7 to 8 years, what the previous government did in just for the
railway that just been
even half 50%. The current government can even get 50% of the full.
I think the whole city needs to go and research on that and see the statistics.
And that is a fact. Let's go.
4 years and 8 years. I expect you saying that this government has done more.
Nothing.
I couldn't be
nothing.
Come on, no.
Okay, let's mention.
You tell me.
Okay, I'll mention one NDC. You mention one NDC. Let's go.
I'm not here to advocate. I am not here to advocate for
NDC blocks.
Okay, the Kumasi International Airport.
Kumasi International. Okay, Terminal 3.
Okay, what do you call the project just launched in Kolebu?
We have not finished. Have they finished the project?
Yeah, I will share the link. Yeah, commissioned. I will share the link with you.
They were commissioning a block.
Okay, what about the car factory, the plant that was? Come on.
We are talking about social infrastructure. Something that, fine, that is good. But is it government initiative? It's businessmen that came into.
You know that the hot seat is for country and people.
Yes.
I just want to be out here, and I want to know that whoever comes, have the interest of the people at hand. Yes, outdoor more projects, we want it. Good roads, we want it. Hospitals, yes, we don't want to fly out of the country in emergencies to take care of ourselves. We want these things. So if that's what's going to be done by NDC, so be it. We'll give you the mandate. If NPP is already doing it, should we be changing them?
They are not doing it, and that is why currently Ghanaians just want to get.
Of course, I know you've already given me assurance, a very solid assurance that you're going to be the MP for new Joabeng North.
By His grace, it's going to happen.
I'm watching you for that, and I'm going to hold you to some of the things you have said.
Sure.
I'll come back here and I'll hold you to some of them. My team will come and investigate what you have delivered.
Exactly.
I will put it out on grounds. Yeah?
I'll okay.
Let's before we go to grounds, we've had quite a long conversation, and this is coming to about an hour, I should think so. Let me ask you a couple of more questions, and then you give us your final words, and then we'll bid our viewers goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. We'll bring you some wonderful sessions again. We will not tell you who is next, but the hot seat is hot. I hope it wasn't too hot for you.
No.
Actually, you put me on the hot seat, actually. That's all I have to say. NDC and Mahama. 24-hour economy. Tell me something.
24-hour economy is, let me say, is just kind of a messiah that is coming into the country too.
A messiah?
Yes.
That is a big one.
That particular policy is a messiah. And, the way Ghana has gone back in terms of development, it's like it has gone back in like 20 to 30 years in terms of development. And we need to cover up. And if we really need to cover up, we can't remain in this same situation that we find ourselves. We need to work in the morning, work in the afternoon, work in the evening, and work even in the night to be able to cover up. Now that we don't have enough,
you are an NDC member. Obviously, I'm a parliamentary candidate for, I call it NJN. New Joabeng North. All right. What are some of the policies and initiatives that is going to make this 24-hour economy functional? Because you don't want it to be just a campaign slogan,
exactly.
And then you go in there and say, things are difficult. We didn't think. We've heard a lot of stories before. So, as an insider, what can you tell us that those are some of pilot projects that are going to be coming to actually kickstart and make this 24-hour economy formidable, sustainable for the future?
Thank you. So the first thing, let's go to, if we want the 24-hour economy to work and not just making it just a mere policy, we have stated in most of our conversations that we are going to make security available for all businesses that want to get themselves involved in the 24-hour economy policy. And that is key thing. Yeah. And that is one major reason why most companies don't work in the night, because of robbery, because of probably some people coming to attack them and all that. And even filling stations, fuel stations, if you go out, most of them by 10 p.m. they've closed because of armed robbery. Now all these companies, if you have to provide security, 24-hour security service for them, will let the police be available for them to help them, guide them, so that they can continue doing their work.
And the roads in the community are not good. How is this police going to be responding to emergency calls? Because the roads are not good. Even ambulances are suffering the same thing.
Yes.
I'll be back, but we'll talk on this later.
The roads, we are going to fix the roads.
There are a lot of roads to be fixed. As there are a lot of roads to be fixed.
When you were coming,
there are a lot of roads to be fixed. Are you sure NDC can fix all these roads?
We are not
saying the ones that require
all roads within the country. But there are some key roads that must be fixed.
Oh, I like the word key roads.
Yes.
Key roads.
Those key roads must be fixed. And I'm very sure that all those key roads will be fixed. For example, like Cocoa Roads. It was ongoing. The previous government, NDC government, did so well in the Cocoa Roads. And when the current government came in, and when they came in, they cancelled most of the contracts. Aside that, those roads that were already done, they're supposed to be maintenance on the roads. I'm telling you, for the past 7 years, some of the roads has never experienced any
maintenance is not in our culture. And
that is very bad.
It's one thing we have to begin
that is very critical. And my government, or let me say the NDC party and the NDC, that's the next coming government, we are going to make sure that we will not compromise anything on maintenance. That is why when we were in power some years back,
they were like, I've come to your business, I've come to your actually you're in your office at the moment. And I've looked around, I'm very particular when I go to places, I'm looking at details, and I think I would say yes, I'm satisfied with what I have seen. So if this is the culture, the behavior you want to take to the constituencies, then maybe if I was here, I may vote for you.
Because we all live.
But I'm not here, so
because we all live.
You're not going to get my vote.
You can still transfer your vote. You have to transfer your vote. But the whole thing is,
are we going to do it on the vote buying basis?
No. Because if even when I go around within the constituency and someone tells me, "Oh, honorable, hey, give me money, I'm going to vote for you. Give me money, I'll vote for you." I tell the person.
So that's another problem we have. Sometimes the people they go asking for the money.
Yes.
They initiate the process.
Go to the politician, go and ask money, give me money and I'll vote for you. Give me money and I'll vote for you.
I'm not trying to rush you. I'm enjoying the conversation. I think we can just sit here the whole day. There's a lot to talk about. By all means, I'll reach out to my team and they'll be more than happy to work something out for you.
All right.
But then, anyway, there are some questions I have, but I would love to ask Mahama himself and I would like to ask Bawumia himself. I look forward to sitting them on the hot seat. LGBTQ.
Yes.
Oh, my question, direct question, yes or no? If you were in Parliament, would you have voted to pass the bill? Yes or no?
I would have been the first person
to vote for it. Next question. Do you think the time spent in deliberating this matter, the resources and energy at the expense of all the pressing issues we have, is it worth it?
It doesn't worth it. But
it's not to say it's not important. In some way, we have more pressing issues.
What I'm talking about,
and I don't think LGBTQ is one of them. As all the problems you were mentioning here as issues you're going to fix in your constituency, LGBT is not one of them. You didn't mention it at any point. So if we put all those things at the expense of the pressing issues, do you think the time spent in doing all this is worth it? Yes or no? I'm sorry, but I want to put it to the spot. Yes or no?
It doesn't worth it.
Okay, good. But let me tell you. My next question. My next question tell you is this.
It is something
the bill is now said to be with the president, and it seems like there's some sort of movement for the bill not to be signed. We think that is okay. After the time, the money and resources spent, the bill will not be signed. What do you have to say?
We don't need to waste time and waste money. Should we be any resource?
Should we be second guessing ourselves whether the bill
should have been something very simple that the government don't need even to spend time. We shouldn't have even spent a week deliberating and debating on this issue. It should have been something simple.
Like has happened.
Our tradition frowns upon it. Our religion frowns upon it.
Culture
and the culture frowns upon it.
But now the time, the resource, the time and money has been spent.
We have a country that we have
what is the
Muslims and you have a traditional religion.
What
all these religious bodies frowns upon it.
I agree with you. So now what's the holdback to signing the bill into law?
We need to ask the Akufo-Addo why.
Okay, I'm sure you have connection. You can invite him to the hot seat and I'm more than happy to ask him that question.
He will not come.
I'm telling you, he will not come. He's a bold man. He's a bold, eloquent president. Why do you want to sit on the hot seat?
He will because I also say that they support whatever that is going on.
So you think that Nana Akufo-Addo would not like to sit on the hot seat?
He can't. If he can, he should come. And that is the truth.
Sending a message on my behalf.
I would even suggest that they should even be. You can even invite some of them. Let's go into debate.
Yeah, let's go. I said I'll mediate. I'll do the mediation.
I'll be very glad. Let's make it an open forum.
Call it up and I'll be available.
You see, why should we waste time, waste the resource, that small resource that we have? Why should we waste all of this on LGBTQ? What reason? Something that is very simple. We all know that it's not good. What is not good, what's not right is not right. And it must be signed immediately by the president. He must do. If not,
honorable. Thank you very much. I like the energy that you're speaking with because it's okay. Yeah, it seems you're getting upset over the fact that things are not the way you want it to be. And my hope is that you will deliver as you have said. This video is going to be there till the coming of the Lord Jesus, so you can refer to it anytime what you said you're going to do. But we have to bring this interview to a close. But again, you know the team. Contact them if you want us to do something else. Your proposal for an open debate, I'm up for it. I would function as the mediator of that debate, even between you and your constituency rivals. We are not going to do that. Now, opponents are there, and I'm ready anytime, any point in time. Now, before we go, anyway, you've been watching an interview or a conversation about country and people. New Joabeng North, NDC parliamentary candidate, and he's been hot. He's put me on the hot seat a couple of times, but I think I've flipped it now, and he's on the hot seat. But before we go, I'll give him the chance to give us his final words, and we'll sum up. And please do enjoy, but forward it to other Ghana-loving Ghanaians so that we can collectively, as you know of the hot seat, make Ghana a formidable place. Because we are beautiful, we are strong, we are lovely, and we are industrious. Over to you, your final words. Yeah, thank you very much. A few seconds, so yes, I would like to ask some few questions. Why do we have to waste so much money in collapsing people's businesses, especially to specific banks? 10 banks just went down the drain just because of some error that those banks were actually faced, or they were facing some small crisis that we could have just used some small amount of money to fix those problems, but we end up wasting huge sums of money collapsing those banks. 10 major banks, and about 192 microfinance companies also went down as a country. If we are to calculate the number of people that went home because we were working in those financial institutions, you understand is they were trying to overhaul the system. And that is too much. That is too bad. So there are a whole lot. If to go back to this thing, it seems like it's going to be a whole topic that we have to discuss, and it will take much time. Invite us, so we will come I think we'll have to get another time. Then we can go into details. Maybe we pick a particular topic or subject area, for example, like maybe the financial sector of the economy, or if you want to go into the social aspects to whatever, then we pick it, we go into details, then we can actually I love that. I would love for people to know what is actually going on. There's a whole lot. Because one belief of the whole seats that what we need is a change of mentality and mindset. Exactly. And that conversation will go a long way. Thank you very much. But just one specific thing for your constituency, just direct words to them. What you want to say to them? Oh, well, so New Joabeng North constituency, what I want you people to understand is that I'm here for you. I'm ready to serve, and I'm coming purposely to serve you. I want New Joabeng North to be a model constituency in Ghana, and to be a model constituency even in some, let me say, Africa. And there are a lot we can do together as one people. We all need to collaborate and work together as a nation. New Joabeng North constituency is on its way of changing, and the time is now. We need to vote for someone that will really change how the system works, and I'm ready to do that for you. As I earlier mentioned, I'm coming in to serve you. So your servant is here, and I'm ready to serve you. And all that you know that I have been doing for the past years, there's more that I'm going to do for you. Thank you, and God will bless us all. And yes, thank you very much, Honorable Samuel Adongo. Yes, you said, of course, we did outdoor your new name, Honorable Samuel Adongo, the change. The change. Without much ado, thank you for your boldness to sit on the hot seat. You're the first to sit on the hot seat. Many we have tried, they are still skeptical, but I hope this gives them an open mind to say it's an opportunity to tell people what you're about, what you can do, both critical and non-critical. That is life. I'm your host, Eamn, Liquid Eamn, and this is the Hot Seat, Ghana's authoritative patriotic channel. We will come your way again with yet another beautiful talk show, not a talk show, a sit-down with yet another prominent ministerial governmental official for your consumption, because the aim is we want to change mentality and mindset. Ghana must work. Thank you. God bless you. See you another time. Bye for now.